How do I
Peace out.
prove demon?
Perfect,
You have
thanks.
an erratic mind, and I recommend giving up on drugs and just fix your life toward the goal of having pussy in your life
I say do
and
more.
cleaning out your brains.
Okay.
But
Fright
yeah.
power, motherfuckers. Bye.
Take either my advice or take his. All right, peace out, Blue Whale. I'll help Blue Whale.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was pretty happy. He was pretty intense, eh? Right there.
It was like a 14-year-old having his first sex.
What were you mad at? I saw you cringe at the Mike Enoch stuff. What was that? Well,
Oh no, I mean, I've disconnected from him the first sentence, so I didn't even hear what he was saying. I didn't even. If you expose your brain to that kind of speech, your brain will not be able to logically process stuff. So you have to be careful. You have
you
to.
think it was too
protect
much? It
yourself.
was too fast?
Oh yeah, this guy thinks one thing at a second, and then he thinks on another thing. He's not able to focus on a subject and say, okay, that's what we're talking about. Let's proceed step by step. If you expose your brain to these guys, you're just gonna ruin your logical processing capabilities.
Okay, but here's one thing you have to understand too. We got what 2,800, 2,900 people watching right now. He's overexcited, you know what I mean? He wants to get all his ideas out. Remember, me and you, we're used to sitting in here and just fucking shooting this shit about one subject forever. If like when I was on Drunken Peasants for the first time, I was terrible. I had no idea what I was doing. I was overexcited. I was scared. So we like remember, some callers are gonna be a little bit. Excited or, talk over or stumble or stutter a lot more. But I see what you're saying. But I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. And if I were on this show and I was a fan and I had never been on the show before, I'd be shitting myself right now. Hey guys! Hey!
You're making up an explanation. You're making up an explanation. It makes sense to explain his behavior. But what I'm saying is for recommendations for the future for him and for others, accept that the universe cannot take all of your inputs. Because that's typical of people who take drugs, by the way. You have such an inner working in your mind that kind of generates all these things and you want to put them out. But the great public speaker learns that the universe cannot take it all, and you're better make the best use of the time you have to push one idea. And sometimes in a debate, for example, I set myself the goal that in 2 hours I would have taught one thing. I would have taught one thing to the people listening to me. And if you approach life differently, you will be constantly disappointed because people don't have that processing capabilities.